One of the more positive aspects of divorce is that you get to focus on your self-discovery and personal divorce. And so in this video today, we're going to be talking about how you can transform your pain into power as you go on a journey of self-discovery in your divorce recovery experience. And I'm going to give you some tips and insights, not only to cope with the 5 stages of divorce, but to learn how to thrive in the face of heartbreak, turning this into a very transformative breakthrough for you, okay? And so if you are new to me, to my channel, Understanding You University, or to any of my content in social media land, my name is Katrice, and I am the Natal Chart Navigator, and I am a divorce recovery strategist, and I teach newly divorced women how to emotionally balance and go through the 5 stages of divorce faster, easier, and with grace using their astrological natal charts. And so if you are newly divorced, so a year or under, and you're looking for some personalized guidance on navigating the divorce recovery experience, then my content is for you, okay? All right, and so let's go ahead, let's jump into this, okay? So first thing I want to do is talk about the emotional landscape, okay? One thing you have to understand is that divorce is a emotional roller coaster, okay? It is truly like death, okay? In the sense that your old life has died, and so now you have to learn how to live life post-divorce, okay? Outside of no longer being married, okay? And so there's 5 stages of divorce that I reference, okay? Now if you search stages of divorce online, there's probably going to be, other stages that people have. I mainly just focus on these 5 stages, okay? And so now you're not going to go through the stages like linear, okay? This is not a linear process. You do bounce back and forth into the different stages at different times, but you will get to the acceptance stage, and once you get to the acceptance stage, which is the last stage, then you will you stop bouncing, okay? But it takes a while, just depending upon your situation, but it takes a while. But once you get to acceptance, you see that everything you went through was very, very necessary, okay? And so the first stage is the denial stage, okay? And this is where you have the grief and the loss, okay? Now, like I said earlier, divorce is like a death. It really is a loss, okay? And so grief is a natural response to that loss, okay? And so you're grieving the end of a significant chapter in your life, the loss of shared dreams, the family that you have, built and nurtured, that is now broken, okay? And so now you have to go through the legal process, or you've gone through the legal process, of divorce, and, that can be traumatizing in and of itself. And so in this stage, you want to make sure that you recognize and allow the space for these feelings of grief to unfold, okay? You do not want to, I'm okay, and even though you may be happy, or excited that you are getting a divorce, that you're no longer going to be married, if that's your story, there's still a natural affinity to grieve the loss, okay? Because something significant has ended in your life, okay? So do not rush through this stage. Don't rush through any of the stages. Allow things to naturally unfold, okay? Okay. Now, the next stage is the anger stage, okay? Now, again, these stages are not linear, okay? So you can bounce back and forth. You may not start at denial. You may start at anger. You may be pissed the hell off. And so you might start at the anger stage. And so it really just depends, okay? Now, in the anger stage, anger is very common emotion post-divorce, okay? Whether it's directed towards your ex or towards yourself or towards the circumstances or towards a combination of everything, this intense emotion can be fueled by feelings of betrayal, of disappointment, or a sense of injustice, okay? Acknowledging and expressing anger in healthy ways is crucial for emotional release, okay? You do not want to keep all this anger bottled up inside, okay? Because the only person that you're really hurting is yourself. And I know that sounds cliche. However, and not saying that you being angry may not affect your ex-spouse, but it's not stopping them from moving on. It's not stopping them from living their life, going throughout their day, doing what it is that they need to do for themselves, okay, in their life. So the person who's hurting the most is going to be you, okay? And so the anger stage is a stage that is probably the second hardest, I'll say, for me, okay? Anger stage. And anger, actually, that was probably the best stage, to be honest, for me, because, like, I'm a very peaceful person, okay? But when I get pissed, like, and I'm just, it's like, it's a built up pissed offness, right? I'm a Virgo, okay? And I like to keep the peace. And I got a Libra Mercury, so I definitely like to keep the peace. So I will bottle things up. And that is something that I have learned on my divorce recovery experience, was that you got to stop bottling things up and trying to not ruffle feathers and protect everyone else's emotion while your emotions are suffering, okay? That was a really big lesson that I had to learn, that I learned on my experience. Now, I'm not saying that I'm just, I don't care about people's feelings, because that's not true. However, I'm not going to hurt myself or bottle my feelings up in an attempt to make sure that everyone else's feelings is okay, right? I'm going to take into account what I say in regards to others' feelings. However, I am going to express how I am feeling, okay? So that was something that I definitely had to learn on my experience, okay? But you definitely want to, the anger stage is a stage that you must go through and really learn how to control your emotions, because it's important when it comes to balancing your emotions, in order for you to move forward, you have to have your emotions in check, okay? You're not going to be able to move forward in the way that you would like, and it's going to take you longer, okay? So the next stage I want to talk about is the bargaining stage, okay? And so in this stage, there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of uncertainty, and this could be very well, like I said, your first stage, because again, the stages are not linear. Now, with this, divorce often brings about a period of confusion and uncertainty about your future. Questions about your identity, your purpose, your life direction can all contribute to feelings of feeling adrift, of feeling like you're just here, you don't know, where you're going, what you're doing, and you're just trying to make it, okay? It's important to recognize that this confusion is a natural part of the process and that clarity may take time to emerge, okay? There was a period from when I first said, that's it, I'm done, to probably about a year after the divorce was actually final, that I was just like, who am I, where am I going, what am I doing, how am I going to make it through. And that's all while still having to be a mother and take care of my children. Trying to figure out my life and make the best decisions possible for me and my children. Okay, so that was not a good time. I was really confused, and that's okay. Okay, because again, there's going to be that confusion because you've been married and now you're no longer married, and so now there's nobody for you to lean on to bounce ideas off of. Now it's just you just got to figure it out. Now if you have a good support system, that's really, really helpful. I did have a good support system, thank God. But if you don't have a good support system, you have one here in the community, Understanding You University, because this is your safe space, to talk. If you don't have anybody that you can talk about it with where family or friends, you do have me, you do have the community here, that you can talk, and you can bounce ideas and things off of us, and we share our stories so that you can start to see that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Okay. All right, and so the next stage I want to talk about is the depression stage. Okay, this for me was actually the worst. This was the worst stage because, you literally don't even want to get out of bed. You don't even want to be here anymore. It's just like you're just a shell of a person, and you're just moving very robotically, doing the same things over and over and over again just to get by, so you can get back into bed. Literally. Excuse me. That was my experience. I've been sick for the last about 2 weeks, so you see me doing a lot of coughing. I'm just now starting to get to a point to where I feel better, so I do apologize for the excessive coughing. But in this stage, there's a lot of sadness and loneliness. And the end of a marriage can lead to profound feelings of sadness and loneliness. You may be grappling with the sense of isolation, especially if you and this person, if you really look at your marriage and you say, it was relatively good, and you and your partner relatively got along, and then to just end it like that, and of course nothing just happens overnight. There's always a progression to the ending of something, most of the time. But now it's like you have to cope with, they're not there anymore. You're not together. You lost your friend. You lost your partner. You lost the person who you were going to spend the rest of your life with them. That was your thought process when you got married. And so for that to not be playing out, you are depressed. You are very sad. Okay. And that is okay. Okay. Because again, all of these stages are similar to the same exact stages of, when somebody passes away. Okay. Because it's a major loss in your life. And so you go through all of these stages, and you have to recognize that these emotions are important for you to release these emotions, and seeking support is going to be so crucial during this stage, because you can spiral really, really, really quickly if you're not careful. So you really want to seek support during this time. Don't try to go it alone. Like I said, if you don't have anybody who you can work with within your life, no family, no friends that you trust, I do have a free session that you can book with me if you just need someone that you can talk to help you to kind of figure out a plan for how you can go about your divorce recovery experience. Okay, so the link to book that, if you would like to book that, is in the homepage, my link tree, and I'm also going to have it in the description of this video. Okay, and so then the last stage, which is my favorite stage, is the acceptance stage. Okay, and the acceptance and healing. Okay, and so you want to make sure that you going through the previous 4 stages, and allowing these emotions to surface and to come up, and acknowledge them without judging them. Okay, that was really hard for me as a Virgo. Virgo energy is a very self-critical energy. Okay, and I was very critical. I was like, "No, you should be over this by now. It shouldn't have taken you this long to get over it." And finally, it just got to a point to where I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. I have to process things the way they process. And, like I started to, I knew I was getting in this stage. I was moving into this stage when I was able to look at myself and say, you were not the only one in the marriage, and you did everything you could to make the marriage work, and it's not all your fault. And you have to acknowledge that you did what you did, and if the other person didn't do as much as they could have done, that's not your fault, because you are only able to take accountability for you and your actions, right? And so once I got to that point, which took a really long time, then I was able to be to a point to where I'm like, I'm okay. I'm good. And I knew that I had gotten to a point to where I was done with those other stages, and I had healed myself, and I was ready to move on. Okay, and so each emotion that you go through is a part of your healing process. How long you stay in each stage really just depends upon you. Okay, there is no wrong or right. There is no certain length that you should be going through. You're never going to hear me say, you should be going through this stage within this amount of time, and then you should move on to the next stage, because it's not linear. Okay, it is all over the place, and when you're just trying to figure it out, you're going to be all over the place. You're going to have amazing days. You're going to have really shitty days. You're going to have days that are just like that. Each day is a different day, but it allows you, going through each stage, it allows you to really should I say, grow and learn who you are. It really makes you more resilient. And if you can get through divorce, I really feel like you can get through anything. Honestly, I do. Okay, and so now, one thing that is going to really help you on this process is journaling, okay, or some type of way that you can record. Recording your experience, your journey through the 5 stages is going to be really helpful for you, and something that I definitely recommend. Because now, as I go back in my journal, I have a journal right here. I'll show you guys. I love it. I love journaling because it is so very key. This is my little journal here. It started back in 2019 because that's when I really made the decision that I was done. I didn't want to be married anymore. And so I started journaling then. And so I go back sometimes and I look at where I was in 2019. and then to now where I am. And like you really get to see the growth and the transformation that you go through, and it's really, really beautiful. So this is a very therapeutic practice of journaling to facilitate for self-reflection. So writing about your emotions can provide clarity and insight into the complexities of your feelings. And like I said, it serves as a record of personal growth and healing over time. Okay. So journaling is something that I always really, really recommend that you do. And it doesn't have to write. If you don't like to write, you can do a video vlog. And it doesn't have to be something that is it doesn't have to be something that you publish like on social media. You can use YouTube if you want, and you can have the videos private, and you can just record them and upload them. And then you can go back and just look and see where you was. And video blogs are really good like that, because not only did you get to see where you were in the time, but you get to watch yourself. You get to see yourself and see, you might have looked really, really weak and tore down, and then a year later you go back and you look at a video from a year, and you look totally different. You sound different. You show up differently. And so journaling, vlogging, those are things that I definitely recommend that you consider on your as a tool that you use within your divorce recovery experience. Okay. Seek support. I'm going to keep preaching seeking support from family, from friends, from professionals. Having a supportive network can provide a safe space for you to express your emotions and receive guidance. Okay. Now, if you here on my channel, I talk about using your astrological natal chart to help you to heal and to go through the 5 stages of divorce faster. Okay. Using your natal chart in order for you to grow and to get to learn yourself better was the best thing that I ever did, because your natal chart is personalized to you. Okay. So when you pull your natal chart, you need your birth time, your date of birth, and the place of birth. Okay. And that's so that you can get your accurate rising sign. Okay. And when you pull your chart and you are looking in your chart, you are learning who you are energetically, because we are all energetic beings. Okay. And so you are learning who you are energetically. And so you take that information and you can use that information to help you when it comes to the transits, to the planetary movements, when it comes to you learning how these energies affect you. You definitely want to get to know who you are on an energetic level, so that you can learn how to cope with your emotions. Okay. Now, if you are brand new to astrology, or if you've been following me for a while and you have not gotten your free copy of my Natal Healing Method Framework ebook, you definitely want to get that. In the framework, I go over the Natal Healing Method, the first 3 steps of my Natal Healing Method, okay, which is the 3 steps that I use personally in order to learn myself, to emotionally balance, and to reinvent myself after divorce. Okay, it's the first 3 steps, which to me are the meat and potatoes of the framework. Okay, it's absolutely free to use. So if you would like to get a copy of that, just go to my link tree. It will be in the description of this video, and it's also on the home page. Okay, so you definitely want to do that. Okay, and so I want you to really focus on your natal chart. When you start to use your natal chart, I want you to approach it from a place of using it to help you to navigate the emotional roller coaster that comes with post-divorce, okay? And do that with self-compassion and patience, okay? Each emotion that you feel is a valid part of your healing journey, okay? And allowing these feelings to surface is a crucial step towards you getting to the acceptance stage and renewing yourself and showing up as a more evolved version of yourself, okay? And so I'm gonna end it here because I really just wanted to go through each stage, break each stage down, and show you, give you that tip, those couple of tips, so that you can start getting on the path of learning who you are, becoming emotionally centered, and being able to evolve past your divorce, okay? And so if you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. My intention is that you found this video useful, helpful, or insightful, or all three. And if that is the case, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. So please do leave a comment below, okay? Now, if you have started on your divorce recovery experience and you would like help with the roadmap, to help you to really get more in tune with yourself and to go through the 5 stages of divorce faster, then you definitely want to book a divorce recovery strategy session with me, okay? It's absolutely free. You don't have to pay for it. And within that, what I do is we sit down and we go over, where you're at within your divorce recovery experience. Okay. And so I break down the 5 stages of divorce, and we kind of figure out where you are within your experience. We go over the natal healing method more in detail. And I show you how this method can speed up your recovery process. And then I share my story with you so that you can understand that you are not alone, and just so you can get a feel for what the divorce recovery experience could look like. Now, this session is for divorced women, newly divorced women, 1 year or less, to give you a roadmap and to help you to understand the challenges and things that you may face on your experience journey, okay? Like I said, it is a free session for you, and so if you would like to take advantage of that, you can definitely book that. And with each booking, you will get a copy of my Natal Healing Method Framework ebook. So if you haven't gotten that, go ahead, book a session, and you will get that absolutely free as my gift to you, okay? Alrighty, and so remember, possibilities are endless. If you can see it in your mind, then you can definitely hold it in your hand, and that should make you smile because you really are the one who creates your reality. Have a good one.